blood blister or something. Oh, okay, that's fine. Hi, Shine. Hi. I'll wave. Hi, hi, hi. Um, okay, I guess I have to do a stage thing here. And I'm going to do members of the server only. Well, no, I can do a public. It's fine. I want more people to come to the Discord, right? Right. So Friday night reads. And I need to like set a time on Friday nights to do this. Friday night reads with Tigris Eden. Continue. My stage is about to go public. People can't see me, and that's okay. I'm good with that. Let's see. Okay, so it's unmuted on the stage now. I've got that up. Oh, I am live here as well too. On Facebook. Is that Miss Raquel? It probably is Miss Raquel. Miss Raquel is my lovely, lovely. Let's see what it says. Show social comments display here. Click on them to showcase them. Oh, okay. You learn something new every day. So, Sunny, is it okay if I call you Sunny, or do you prefer Shine or Sunshine? I like Sunny, only because that's what my 8th grade teacher used to call me, but I digress. Raquel, I think that's you, but I can't really tell, so I probably should open up Facebook over here. So I'm streaming on multiple channels. Yay, I'm sometimes smart. Not really at all. Oh my goodness. And then I have to, be nice to the man. Let me see. Yes, it is. It's Raquel. Hi, beautiful. I can't see your comments for some reason. Although last time I was able to see them, so I'm wondering which Facebook channel you're watching from. So hi, whoever just joined on Facebook along with Raquel. Shiny or Sunshine is okay, no problem with it if you'll call me Sunny, even if it's my brother's name. Oh, your brother's name is Sunny? Okay, so I will say Sunshine. My dad, okay, so really quick, you guys know I love to tell stories. I'm a writer, it's what I do, right? So my dad is James, but of course I didn't call him James, but his family called him Sunny Boy. In the 8th grade, my English teacher, Mr. Hilliard, called me Sunny because he said I always came to class with big smile on my face, bright personality, and I was super bubbly. I don't remember that because I remember being a super, super shy introvert nerd. But apparently, whenever I came to English class, I had a smile on my face, which in retrospect makes sense, right? Because I love to write stories. And he was one of 2 teachers that encouraged me to write, actually. So that's probably why. And then I have a friend who our birthday is on the same day, and I can't tell you her real name, but we call her Z, and sometimes she pops in here from time to time. But her nickname is also Sunny. So that's why I like the name Sunny. Just a little fun fact about Tigris. Okay, so we were reading from last Friday. We restarted A Game of Hearts. So I'm going to continue on from where we left off. I will, each time we do this, I'll read the synopsis I don't know why I keep calling this synopsis because it's not what it is. I will read the blurb just so that those who join after the fact will be like, okay, they get the premise of the story, even though we're going to keep going forward. And the plan is to get through this whole entire book over a series of weekly Friday night reads. Oh yeah, the cover. Yeah, the cover's hot, right? Like the cover, and let me just show it up here. Facebook, y'all like the cover? You see it? It's beautiful. It's sexy. You can't see no chi-chis on here. Where you see some chi-chis? Are you talking about the man chi-chis? Oh, maybe she's talking about the man chi-chis. I don't know. Let me move the camera this way. Okay, I'm trying to make sure that I'm like at least looking at you guys. So the other thing is I will read the blurb. Where do you pick the covers from? I have a couple different cover artists that I work with. This one was by Dar, and she is really amazing. And this book is a part of a group of books over a 12-month period. And this book, mine was February Indulgence. Oh, what he's doing. Oh yeah. He's getting him some chest loving. So I will read these, and I provide commentary, and I make fun of myself. I make fun of the characters. I talk about the characters. I even say what I would do should I be in that scenario. So it's an interactive thing. And I will look up from time to time to check comments and answer questions. Feel free to blast them out whenever you want. But yes, I write romance, but you guys knew that already, right? Y'all were very much aware that I'd be writing romance. It's what I do. Okay, so we left off with our main female lead going to lunch with her boss. But first, let me read the blurb. Let's read the blurb. So, dumped by her boyfriend of 3 years just a few days before their anniversary and planned trip to an island paradise, a place where fantasies come true, a resort called Indulgences, Zoraida Lemies is forced to do a little soul searching, and what she discovers is not what she expected, especially when her best friend from childhood, Mateo Vargas, expresses an interest in being more than just friends. Now everything is up in the air, including her friendship with Mateo. One almost steamy night sets the two on a journey that Zoraida may or may not be ready for, but Mateo hopes she is, as the two indulge their fantasies with a game of hearts. This was so much fun writing this book, by the way. I had a blast. It's a really thin read. Like, you can literally read this in one day. So where we left off is Zoraida just had confrontation with her ex, who works at the same law firm that she works at, and she's the executive assistant to one of the partners. So I was talking a lot of trash about her man, and his name is Clinton Mellon. That's how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Milan. But whatever. Okay. So now we're on to the next scene in chapter 1. Here we go. Mr. Carter and I went to the local Cuban restaurant, Flor de Cuba. It was the most authentic Cuban food I can get outside of my mother's kitchen, and it felt like home. Even my parents loved the place, which said a lot. Mom criticized everything, right down to my outfit of choice when I went to work. Zori, my boss said softly. Okay, I do horrible men voices, by the way. Okay, just remember that. Horrible men voices. And because my voice is already grabby, I do have my trusty drink, but my Spanish accent will be probably nil. And if I mispronounce a Spanish word, so be it. Sorry. Lo siento. Okay, so Zori, my boss said softly. Yes, sir. Cut the sir crap. You can call me Davis. All right, Davis. I smiled his way, but it wasn't flirting. It just felt weird calling him by his first name. You can do way better than what you're doing. You know that, right? I had no idea what he was talking about. Excuse me? Clinton, he said with no pretense. I'd had no idea he referred to Clinton. I didn't even know he knew about us. We'd been so careful. Well, obviously they weren't careful enough if her boss knew. There wasn't a policy at work that said we couldn't date fellow employees, but I knew it was an unspoken law that those in higher positions shouldn't fraternize with coworkers, not their equal, at least in position or pay. I was just Mr. Carver's administrative assistant. Clinton was an actual lawyer. How many of you guys believe in that equal pay, equal position thing? I, for one, do not. I think that's BS. If I fell in love with a garbage man, I'm going to marry me a garbage man. I don't give a damn. Just saying. I didn't fall in love with a garbage man, though. But you catch my drift, right? My eyes went wide when Davis placed his hand over mine, shaking his head. Don't worry, Zori. It's okay. I don't blame you at all. Next time, just make smarter choices. Clinton is all about perfection and influence. He's not someone who can see past the things that aren't important and glimpse the heart of a person. Is that not the truth? But okay, the boss putting his hand on yours, that's just a little teeny bit creepy in the real world, but you can get away with that in the book world because it leads the reader to believe like, but we already know from the blurb that it's not the boss. Okay. Davis, the perpetual bachelor, was giving me advice. I hadn't realized he paid that much attention to me. Thanks for the heads up, Mr. Carr or Davis, but I can handle this. I just need to figure out what to do with the rest of my life now. I had put all my eggs into the Clinton basket when I should have been out there surveying all that Houston had to offer. You're still young. You have a lot of time left to find someone special. Don't block your blessings. There could be someone already there waiting for their chance, and you dating Clinton screwed that up. The conversation had taken a whole new turn, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I never got the chance to question him about what he meant, though, because our waitress appeared to take our order. Que bolita hacer? It was Rosa. Remember, I told you, don't worry about my Spanish tonight. It's not going to be a thing. It was Rosa. We went way back, like way back. My parents and hers came over to the States at the same time. Hey, Rosa, I'm excellent. How's the family? Rosa raised a brow at my brush off. I hadn't responded back in Spanish, which meant she had something to say. She spoke perfect English, but if she didn't want a non-Spanish speaking person getting the heads up on what she had to say, she reverted to her native tongue. I wasn't in the mood for her antics. Now, let's just break that part down. I was not being insensitive to the fact that she was speaking Spanish, nor was I at all implying that she should speak English because she's in the US. We do this all the time without even knowing it. Remember when we were kids and we did Pig Latin to like kind of not let our parents know what we were talking about? If you guys didn't do that, I did that. The other thing too was it's just a way of saying what you need to say in front of someone that you can't say in front of them because it's personal information, or you just want to be nosy and get the tea. That's what was happening here. In no way was this meant to be offensive. I'm married to a Hispanic man, by the way, so just saying. Family is good, but what gives? Davis watched our exchange and said nothing. Tumba eso? Let it go, Rosa. Fine, whatever. But I know your mama is going to be mad. You were just in here with Clinton like 3 weeks ago. Now, another caveat. All women, I can't say all women. I'm going to say in this book, these particular women are catty. And catty women are nosy as hell. And obviously, Rosa was all up in her business because she realized that she was in the same cafe not even a few days ago with her ex, but she doesn't know that he's the ex. And that's what she's trying to figure out. What is Zori doing? Why is she with another man? Not that it's her business, but we all know that that's how women can be sometimes. In my story world, I'm not generalizing women in any way, shape, or form. Okay. And this is why I couldn't wait to move out of my mother's house. She was always in my business and had family and friends doing the same, which meant Rosa would go running back the second she could, spilling the beans about how I had been in the restaurant with a man who wasn't Clinton. Alma Lemmings would be worried sick about her spinster daughter who wasn't married and at home pushing out little babies and making boleche or costalista de puerco. Puerco. It's puerco. Oh, see, I can't talk today. I wrote this and I can't write it or can't read it. All right. My mother had wanted a ton of kids, but she ended up with me. I had a boatload of cousins, though, and they each had at least 2 to 3 kids. My parents had struggled, and I mean struggled when I was a kid. They just bought their first home a few years ago and not easily. Before that, we were in a crappy apartment in a crappy neighborhood surrounded by crappy people. The only memorable thing about the old neighborhood was Mateo, my best friend. He'd gotten the hell out of Dodge the moment he could, though. Now he lived above the garage where he worked and was happier than shit. Granted, he didn't have his own car, nor did he make the kind of money one needed to survive, but still he was happy. Now, let's talk about this because remember, in the first chapter, she's basically strung her feelings and hopes and dreams on Clinton, and it's security and financially based. So already our female character is flawed. She has this ideal in her head, and I get it. As women, as human beings, we're all flawed, right? So for parents, and I'm a parent, for parents, we want our kids to have all the things that we couldn't have. And in some cultures and in some families, because this was a thing in my family, my mom used to tell me all the time verbatim, don't find you a pretty boy, find you an ugly man, because the ugly man will treat you better. He'll have more money. He'll have nice things. That's not necessarily true, but I believed my mom, right? Because you believe what your parents say. And I dated some ugly cats. And I still, it's not about looks. Let's just put it that. Let me just put that out there. It's never been about looks for me. It's always the personality that has attracted me first and foremost. But I dated some ugly cats back in the days before I met the dream of my life. And they are just as obnoxious. They are just as rude. They are just as petty. And they are just as narcissistic as a fine ass man would be. Trust me. So she's already got some flaws coming into the story. But with any story, there's supposed to be flaws and you're supposed to watch like the growth of the character. So I hope I did that justice as we get through the book. And definitely let me know if you don't think that's the case, because I want to know these things. Constructive criticism, I'm all about that. Okay, so I wanted that and a whole lot more. I wanted the happiness, the money, and the security of knowing that should the shit hit the fan, my man had my back financially as well as physically. So already Mateo's got some stuff going against him. He lives above a garage and he works in a shop and he's not rich. But she's saying she wants the kid and caboodle. She wants to be a basketball star's wife. She wants to be one of them Hotlantas. Housewives of Hotlanta. I don't watch that. I just know it's a thing. Um, the guy she came in here with 3 weeks ago is now obsolete. Zori and I have things to do back at the office. May we please order? Davis gritted out. Right. May I take your order? Rosa said in a snotty voice. I'll have the carne con papas. And Zori, what will you have? Can I get an order of empanadas? Beef? Yes. Rosa walked off and Davis, there's no D on the end, there's an S. Davis eyeballed her with a strange grimace on his face. Did you come in here a lot with Clinton? We came a couple of times. I think he did it mostly to impress me. Plus, my mother would go on and on about this place, and Clinton wanted to get on her good side. That was a mistake. Yeah, you can say that again, I snorted. I knew better than to bring a guy I was dating around my family, but we'd been dating for about 3 years, so I figured it was safe. It wasn't. Because now Rosa, the nosy waitress, was going to go back and blab to her mother, who would then blab to my mother, and so on and so on and so on. Mi vida. I should have put mi vida loca in my crazy life, but I didn't do that. After the food had been delivered, we ate in companionable silence. When Davis paid the bill, he placed his hand on my lower back as we left the restaurant. This is not good. So not good. Well, no, sweetheart, because he's getting touchy-feely with you. Of course it's not good. I had no intention of giving Davis any idea that I was interested or available. I wasn't about to fool around with Davis. Zori, I want you to know that I'm here for you if you need someone to talk to. I may be your boss, but I'd also like to think we're friends. What kind of friends do you want to be, Mr. Clinton? Or it's not Clinton, it's Davis. See, this is whatever. Just remember, Tigris. That's what I do. And you're right. A man is a man is a man is a man is a man. Remember that. But a real man, because some men pretend to be real men and they're not. Just like some women pretend to be real women and they're not. You okay? My dog's over there acting like she's about to like have a spaz moment. And she does have them from time to time. So that's why I asked. She's not shaking though, so she looks good. Friends? Since when? Sure, he was nice enough. I enjoyed working for him, but I wouldn't say we were friends. Maybe I'd missed something, but the last time I checked, he only spoke to me when he needed something. Occasionally we did lunch, but only in the office. Sometimes we had dinner if there was a meeting and I needed to attend, but again, in the office. We never talked about anything not related to the workplace, and today was the first time we'd eaten outside of it together. Sure, there were some non-committals like how's the family or did your cousin have the baby, but that wasn't the gist of our outside of work conversations. But that was the gist of our outside of work conversations. Davis, I said in a hurry, I didn't want this to go south. That would be awkward and brutal. He had never expressed an interest in me before, and I needed to know where this was coming from. I just need to be clear on a few things. All right, Zori, go ahead. A grin tugged at his lips, a sly one, like he knew what I was about to say. You mean friends as in friends, right? Not friends, friends. Could you say that for me in an actual sentence, he joked, but I went along with it anyway. As in, Zori and Davis are friends who have lunch occasionally, but nothing outside of a shared meal, with possible shopping sprees funded by Davis Carver. Or is this Zori and Davis are friends with benefits, although how they got to that point is beyond me. His eyes went wide for a second with laughter before they warmed with heat. Do you want there to be benefits? Oh, damn. And this is why I sold with the whole Carvis or the whole Davis thing, Davis Carter. Originally, before I even did the blurb, I was like, let's do an office romance between the CEO, well, in his case, the partner, and the secretary. And it's a good trope. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good trope. But it looks like the Tigris Eden page. Oh, okay. Thank you for loving my commentary. Mwah, mwah. Yeah, I originally was going to do that, but then I was like, no, let's do best friends to lovers. So, in another life, another time, heck yeah, but Davis was my boss. Instead of allowing the conversation to sink further into the depths of the unknown, I tried to play it off. Davis Carter, you're funny. Thanks. I needed the laugh. I'll take door number one, friends, the one where we share meals with the possibility of shopping sprees funded by you, of course. I winked and walked ahead of him quickly, hoping I hadn't just messed things up. I wanted to ensure that we stayed in the friend zone. She was smart. That's the end of chapter 1, by the way. That was very, very smart of her. Should I read more? How many pages did I read just now? I think I only read like legit 1, 2, 3. So 6 pages worth of words. Do you guys want to hear a little bit more? If you do, I can read another scene. Actually, I can read all of chapter 2. It's only like 3 pages. More. Raquel wants more. Okay. This is from Zori's perspective. When we arrived back at the office after lunch, Mateo was at my desk holding his motorcycle helmet in his hand. Mateo is the bestie. And he's wearing a leather jacket. And he had a motorcycle helmet. Oh, men on bikes. What can I say? He wore Bad Boy so well, he even had the tattoos. His hair stuck out from beneath his black beanie on the sides, and he sported a smile. Always a warm smile from this one. Beautiful girl. I thought we were having lunch today, he said, fingering the business cards on my desk. I'm so sorry, Maddie. I forgot. Mr. Carver and I went for lunch. My boss nodded in Mateo's direction before heading back into his office. Yeah, you could have texted something. I left the shop early to come and spend some time with my best girl. That was the thing about Mateo. He had a way of making my shitty days bright. Always. When I rounded the desk and woke up my computer screen, I smiled back his way. You're right, I sighed. I should have texted. I'm sorry. How about dinner at your place tonight? You mean that? He asked, hopeful. You'd think we didn't hang out, but we did, like all the time. I saw him almost every other day and we talked daily. Yeah, I'll bring the wine and Paige. You supply the food. At the mention of my other bestie, Paige, Mateo grunted and slid his hand to the back of his neck in frustration. I didn't know why he wouldn't give Paige a chance. I'd rather it just be us. Maddie, Paige and you would be good together, I said. I had been trying to pair them up for months, but Mateo dodged her at every turn, which was surprising because he wasn't a serial dater. He was the type of guy who did long-term relationships. The problem was, all the girls he dated thus far were a total waste of space. Paige would be perfect for him. She was cute, smart, and funny. She would get his sense of humor, and I think she could even handle his moodiness. Probably not as well as I did, but she'd be pretty damn close. Okay, key word. Probably not as well as she would. So we already know that there's some lingering feelings there, because why would that even be a thing if he's your bestie? Am I right? Right? Besties are great like that, though. Good point, Raquel. Good point. But okay, let's keep going. And a bonus for Paige, Mateo wasn't bad on the eyes. He was hot, and that beautiful bronzed skin and tattooed body would be a dream come true for any woman. He knew how to treat a lady too. I'm sure that had everything to do with his amazing parents who were still happily married. They made me aspire to that, to be like them when I got older. The one true constant with Mateo and me was that our parents were phenomenal with us. Even when we lived in a crappy part of town, they always knew how to make us feel special. Honestly, we never even realized how poor we were until the kids at school started pointing it out to us. Mateo shrugged it off. Me, I had a harder time. Men seem to do that. Not all men are like materialistic and vain, but there's some that are out there. I regarded my friend as he stared out the windows behind my desk to the world outside. I did have a killer view, but he still hadn't answered my question. Okay, I guess he had, but he didn't give me the answer I wanted. Earth to Mateo. Yeah, if she really needs to be there, you can bring her. He winked at me before turning to leave. On his way out, he stopped and talked to Elise, or rather, she halted him. Elise was one of those snake in the grass females, the smooth until they slither into your bed and just never freaking leave kind. That would be her. She'd been trying to get into Mateo's bed forever. Another thing. Why does it matter if he's your bestie? I mean, maybe it does, because now I'm sure that there are some bestie relationships where it's guys and girls, and the guy and the girl, they kind of like, is the right word coach? Would that be the right word? They coach each other, like saying, dude, don't do that. Or homegirl, don't do that. Or bestie, don't do that. Or point out that that person's not good enough for them. I mean, well, okay, I guess it's true, because I do that with my bestie. When she calls me and she's like, oh, I'm dating, blah, 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 I will literally give her the rundown. And you're right, because you wouldn't want your bestie to be like that. Good point, Raquel. Good point. Good point. Got it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now we're on to the next scene. Remind me why I'm here, Paige complained. I had thought for sure she wanted to come. She told me on a number of occasions just how hot she thought Mateo was, but now she acted as if she couldn't be bothered, like she didn't want to get with him. She probably did, but she probably realized the one thing that Zori is like, deny. Mateo don't want you, boo. Mateo wants you. He wants Zori, not Paige. And Paige saw that. Why are you acting brand new all of a sudden? Brand new? Me? She shoved her hand into my shoulder playfully. I'm not acting anything. Mateo tolerates me because he loves you. No, he doesn't. Well, yeah, he does love me, but he's just shy, I countered. He's so not shy. I'm gonna drink some water. Right, which is why I saw him a couple of weeks ago sucking face with a brunette in Kroger. You did? Girl, and let me tell you, it was all tongue action. Like he was mimicking what he could do had he been given her the business. Lord, had he been giving her the business? Is that a thing? It's a thing, apparently. It's a thing. Gross. I don't need to know that, I said, laughing. Sure you don't. Honestly, Paige, I don't. That boy is dying to give you the business. You should just hook up with your best boyfriend. Things would definitely be easier. Mateo was hot, but thinking about him sucking face with anyone, let alone me, well, just no. It wasn't something I wanted to think about. We had a rule. I didn't bring my male friends around him, and he didn't bring his girls around me. It had caused a crap ton of problems in the past for both of us. Maddie's last serious girlfriend had broken it off because she was tired of being second, to which I'd pointed out she wasn't. She was more like third or possibly fourth. That's just wrong. Wrong. Like, you legit just cast her down to like level 4, which that's not even girlfriend material at that point. For Mateo, only a few things mattered: family, me, and the shop he worked at. Ask anyone who knew him and they'd tell you. He knew how to treat his women. That was never the problem. The issue arose in trying to gain his attention. I counted myself lucky, as I'd been holding his attention since the day I moved next door. We knocked, and when Mateo opened the door for us, the first thing that hit me was the smell of fresh veggies frying and the aroma of arroz con gandules. Yum. And if he was cooking that, it meant we were having roast pork shoulder. He was a god in the kitchen, and he knew it. A man who can cook, that's sexy all by itself. In high school, he cooked for every girl he went out with. Truth be told, I had a crush on him back then, a serious one. We'd been so close, and I'd watched him grow from scrawny kid to very masculine, very fit male. What high school girl wouldn't swoon? But Maddie had explained that we could only be friends, that he wasn't ready for a girlfriend. Silly me, I had initially taken that to mean that when he was ready to be serious, I'd be that girl. It never happened. That's life. It's gonna happen though. Mm. Win some and you lose some. In my case, I had gained a best friend out of the deal. He was always there for me no matter what. Glad to see you, beautiful ladies. Mateo's deep voice filtered out into the air. He was always so calm, so cool. He was the epitome of a gentleman. I hardly ever saw anything upset him or make him sad. He was so well put together. He wasn't a pushover. He was just nice. Hey, Maddie. I was pulled into a warm embrace and he gave the best hugs ever. Full body, full contact. Let a man try to give me a full body, full contact hug in front of my husband. They gonna be on the floor. 1-2 punch, you out. Already pushing the boundaries of that friendship. Some would say he was too friendly. You think? To me, it was just Mateo. He smelled like garlic and black pepper with hints of alcohol. Paige. Maddie didn't hug Paige as much, which was what had me thinking he was not into her, but didn't want to seem too obvious. He pulled her into a one-arm hug. I smiled because I could see them together. They would make such a cute couple. Hey, Mateo, it smells scrumptious in here, Paige commented. It's Zori's favorite. Oh, is it? She had that tone in her voice, the one where she tried to get something out that should be obvious, like, oh, really? Which made no sense. It wasn't like I didn't know he could cook. I ate at his house at least once a week because the food was so damn delicious. You two play nice, I scolded, walking into his living room and setting down my purse. I brought the wine, Maddie. I'm just gonna go and put this in the kitchen. You two stay out here and talk. Both of my friends examined me as if I'd lost my mind, but I knew what I was doing. I was creating opportunity, the best kind. So now, oh, Helen said, sign me up for Mateo. Here you go. You can have him. Mwah. Um, so now she's basically trying to leave them in a private setting as she goes and puts the wine in the fridge, trying to orchestrate the mood. That's the end, and it's chapter 3, which chapter 3, by the way, is from Mateo's point of view. So do you want me to read more? I could probably read a little bit more. It's not quite 11 o'clock yet. Do you guys want to hear from Mateo's point of view? Anyone? If you do, I'll keep reading. Ooh. Raquel said more. Helen said yes. Okie dokie. Is Shine still on? She's awfully quiet, or maybe she's surfing the internet of love. Who knows? Okay, I'm going. So this is Mateo. Talk about awkward. I stared at Paige. I could see why Zori thought we'd get along. She was cute enough, just not what I was searching for. She wasn't what I wanted either. What I craved was currently in the kitchen, doing her best to try and give her friend and me some alone time for what she hoped would be a hookup. I couldn't spend my time chasing yet another female. All women paled in comparison to Zoraida. Oh, he wants his Zori. But I didn't know how to tell her. My biggest regret was not taking her up on the offer she'd given me back in high school. All those years ago. 6 years was a long time to get your shit together. I was ready now, had been for a while. It was Zori who couldn't get her head out of her ass. Damn, he just gave it to us straight, right? He was like, no, it's not you. It's not me, baby girl. It's you. It's you. It's you. I tried to give her time. Hell, I tried to give myself time. Our parents had already called it when we were young. Mama had said it best. Those two are going to drive each other crazy to the point they end up married with a boatload of children. And that's what I wanted. Damn, Mateo. Say it like you mean it, baby. Oh, this is why I had so much fun writing this book. Y'all just don't even understand. Like, Mateo he's like the perfect 10 of a man. So he says, and that's what I wanted. Marriage, children, the whole damn thing. Oh, get some rest, okay? Mwah. Bye, Shine. She only had 3 hours of sleep today. But Zori didn't want those things anymore. All she talked about now was security, and not in-home security either, financial security, something up until recently I hadn't been able to offer her. Oh, no, no, no. Get some sleep. Get some sleep, sweetie. Um, and I think this gets recorded too. So you can always come back and re-listen if you like. Let's see, where were we? Okay, something up until recently I hadn't been able to offer her. Now it was a question of whether what I could offer was enough and would she even be willing to give us a shot. Now, the fact that he's trying to like fit into her slotted dreams, even though it's not like the most realistic dream, right? He's still trying to make the effort, and I think that's what makes Mateo so likable. A big part of me was bummed that she turned into such a shallow person, but her parents hadn't been the best examples either. Now, her parents were fine examples, but from Mateo's perspective, her parents were more about trying to get, the so-called American dream, like the status, like keeping up with the Joneses. Mateo's not about that life. I don't know what she wants us to do, Paige said, breaking into my thoughts. Yeah, she wants us to get to know each other, but I got to be honest with you, Paige, I started to say. I already know you're in love with her, Mateo. Everyone can see it. Everyone can see it? Shit. I thought I was playing it cool, biding my time. Time is running out. And that was the truth of it. Time was running out. She'd wanted that idiot Clinton to propose to her. Propose. As if he could give her what she needed. He didn't know the first thing about Zori, not like I did. Well, if you already know, how come she doesn't? Paige shrugged her shoulders and smiled widely. Widely. Her eyes were blue orbs of mischief. She had some crazy idea, and I wasn't sure if I'd be down. Hey, I have an idea. Yeah, what? She's got those tickets to that island. I'm going to make sure the two of you end up there together. Tickets to an island? What island? This was the first time I heard anything about an island. Yeah, Aragon Island and the resort is called Indulgences. Trust me, if you want her to see what everyone else already does, then you want to go on this trip with her. I'll take all the help I can get. Excellent. And Mateo, yeah, drop the nice guy routine. Oh, wait. Was I trying to say that nice guys finish last? Because not in my book, they don't. I love a nice guy. I didn't exactly marry a nice guy, though. I did marry the bad guy or the bad boy. But he's a bad boy, but he has lots of nice, warm, fuzzy feelings underneath. But yeah. So Paige just told him to drop the nice guy routine. What the hell does she mean by that? Explain, I said, standing taller. Sure, I was nice, but I wasn't that nice. Come off it. You're always so polite and sweet around her. I know she crushed on you big time back in high school, but that guy wasn't nice. That guy brooded. That guy knew what he wanted and went after it. That guy had a tongue war with some chick in Kroger and Kroger a few weeks back, like he wanted to prove to her what kind of night she was in for. Oh, Mateo, what you doing? My eyes widened when my eyes widened. She'd see me at Kroger with Rosa. Oh shit, that was not good. Rosa was a family friend and a mistake. The same Rosa that just was serving lunch to our Zori earlier this afternoon. Ooh, Mateo, you messy, baby. You messy. You're still not making any sense, Paige. Paige patted my shoulder as if I were some little kid who just didn't get it. Okay, I didn't get it, but still, I was almost 6'4" and in no way, shape, or form little. Honey, she needs a man, not a nice boy man. With those parting words, she headed off into the kitchen where Zori was. Woo! I'm gonna stop there. Next scene is Zori's point of view. And I'll pick that up on Friday. But you're more than welcome to buy it on Amazon and read the story for yourself. You can catch up. You can for far past me up. I wrote it, so I know how it ends, but I'm just saying. And yeah, there's some steamy moments. Let me just see. Ooh, then I'm yours. That's a sentence in this book. Okay, so yeah, I kind of want to read this now, dude. Like legit, I want to read it. Okay, so why did he friend zone her back then? Okay, so remember how she says that she had a crush on him, right, in high school? And he told her he wasn't ready for a girlfriend. He said he just wasn't ready. So Zori took that as in when he was ready, he would get with her. Helen's also read it. I would. I really, really would, but I promised the man that I'd come to bed and I still got to do the shower thing. Um, and that's the typical answer for most guys at that age, right? When they're in high school, and even us girls too. When we're in high school, we're not trying to get in a serious relationship. And I think I'm gonna assume Mateo's up here, right? I made him up. I'm gonna say that Mateo knew that he was going to end up with Zori, but he also knew that he wasn't ready to settle down. And instead of hurting her back then, he wanted to wait until he was mature enough to be in the type of relationship that she needed. My nose ring is like sticking out. Oh, that hurt. Um, so I think that's why he put her in the friend zone, right? And but he put her in the friend zone. He still catered to her every need, cooking for her, putting her before his girlfriends, basically, even though he was in, relationships. And I think that's why those relationships didn't last. Well, we know that's why those relationships didn't last. They were like the precursor. He was like leading up for the big game. He was like practice run, practice run, practice run. And it was like big game. Yeah, and I don't want to say he wanted to sample the universe. And it probably, in most guys' cases, that's probably true because what does anyone know about wanting what, or about knowing what they want, I should say, right? We don't know until we know. And some of us grow up not understanding what that is until much later in life. And it happens, right? It's just a thing. But Mateo, mature Mateo, cooking Mateo, living over his garage Mateo, he knew that. And maybe, maybe on the back end, his parents were coaching him, right? Saying, okay, look, son, you want to get Zori? This is what you got to do. And maybe dad stepped up and was like, go out there and, I don't want to say dip your stick, but, go out there, test the waters, see what's out there so that you know what you have waiting for you. And that sounds weird because you know how there's some stories where, two people get together, love at first sight. Then you even have stories where one or both characters are virgins and they fall in love and it's happily ever after. But how often does that happen in real life? I'm not saying it doesn't, because I'm sure it can and has happened before, but it's not the norm right now, right? Like, for those of you, well, Helen, you probably don't know this. I know Raquel knows this. I had my son when I was 16 years old. I got pregnant at 15. I had him when I was 16. When I was 15 years old, I had a lot more responsibility than most 15-year-olds did. I basically raised my younger sister, who is now in her 30s. And so I was already playing house and I was already doing the things that an adult would do because I was raising a kid. And in my world, I was only in ninth grade. In my world, I thought I was an adult. And the best way to explain it is I was playing house, but I didn't realize the consequences of playing house. And I shouldn't even say I didn't realize the consequences. I knew what could happen. And I took all the precautions to evade that. But those precautions are never 100% sure, right? And you get all in your feelings and you think you're in love and you're like, oh, I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life. But no, that didn't happen. And it's a good thing that it didn't happen because that person was not the right person for me. The only good thing that I got out of that was a beautiful grown man child. You see the look on my face as I said that. I had a beautiful grown man child who also has created another child, which is why I'm a G mama now. But yeah, that was like the only thing. And we all go through like several different stages in relationships. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. We all go through like several different stages in relationships. So I think that's basically what Mateo was going through, just to, yeah, if you love them, let them go speech. That's probably what they did. They probably gave him that. So yeah, good point, Raquel. I'm looking over here because this is where I can see your comments. For some reason, I can't see. Hold on. Maybe I'm not showing the comments. Okay, it's supposed to be chat overlay. I don't know. Like last time I was able to see your comments. Oh, Raquel. No, it's not going to let me. I don't know why. It's not letting me see the comments. Close. You have to like kind of toggle. It just says read only, but it's not letting me click on them. So I have to look over there. But anyways, it's 11:04. I've been on here for almost an hour. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for Tigris' Friday night reads. This is happening every Friday. It's probably going to be around this time after the kid goes to sleep. Facebook doesn't live me like you do. Oh. So have a wonderful night. Mwah. Love you all. Thanks again for hanging out. And I'll see you guys on Sunday. Because I do Tiger Talks on Sunday. Bye. And